Pat, a 1-1 draw today against Dorchester Town. What did you make of it today?
It was a little bit a game of two halves. I thought we were okay in the first half. I thought we were on top. We showed good intensity, good energy. Just without really creating enough, I thought, in the first half for the amount of ball we had. Second half, I thought Dorchester were the better team, especially as the half grew on. I thought they got on top of us, and I think we got to commend the lads for their character. They really dug in for the result. So yeah, it was a tough game. It always was going to be. I think they've really picked up since they've had new management. I think they've really picked up. They look like a decent side, and you're coming here away from home in a derby. So I think, given the context, I think we probably are happy with the point in the end. And I think, whilst we want to win every game, and especially a derby game, I think you've got to look at it as another point in the right direction of where we want to be at the end of the season. So yeah, it was a fairly even game, but I think we were not lucky, but I think you have to say that you commend the lads for getting a point out of the game in the end.
Pat said that you guys are happy with a point. On reflection, would you have been happy with a point before today's game, given Dorchester's form coming into it?
No, I don't think we wouldn't say we're happy with a point. I think it's a case of we take a point given the context of what happened in the game. I think before, genuinely, we don't go into any game happy for a point. I think the boys have shown that this year. Sometimes we've lost games trying to win them, and I think that's the mindset that we've always had with this group: is home or away, we want to go to win. But I think, given the context of the game, I think obviously they're in great form. We've seen it before with Weymouth. When we played Weymouth, they sort of hit a little bit of a bounce when new management came in, and I do think that has an effect on things. So first half, I think it's massive credit to the lads, because I do think we were the better side, not by loads, but we were the better side in the first half. And second half, as the game progressed and it got a little bit difficult, the atmosphere for us, and it was quite chaotic at times. I think that's where you have to say fair play to the boys, because there were a lot of bodies on the line, blocking shots, protecting our goal. Parksy did well, and I think we have to say in the end that a point is a good result for us on the day. At the start of the day, we wouldn't have been happy for it, but sometimes the way that games unfold and things happen that you maybe can't predict, I think we have to accept the fact that we don't deserve more than a point, and that a point is probably decent for us today.
I think there's probably a few things in today's game that you guys probably aren't happy with, but I've got to say I thought the defensive performance out there today was sublime, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought the back line was a bit deep in the second half. I thought we looked a bit leggy and a bit tired, and I think that was then subsequently Dorchester ended up sort of counter-attacking a lot. Like when we had the ball, we'd give it away and then they'd be on the attack, and it felt like wave after wave in certain periods of the game. So we did well as a group to defend our box and defend our goal, like Joe said, but I felt we were a little bit disconnected in the second half. I thought first half we were pretty decent, thought we were relatively in control. And I think if we'd played like that in the second half, we might have got something more out of the game. But I think you've got to look at it and say, look, we're coming away from home in a derby against a team that's in form, and you're not always going to have it your own way. You're not going to come here and always be 10 out of 10 and win 3-0, and it just doesn't work like that. So they're all tough games at this point, and Dorchester away is a tough game. Fair play to them. I think they've made good changes. So yeah, we, like I said, we take a point and we look ahead to Taunton at home next week. And I think also, like, the minimum we ask of the players is to show desire and show fight, and I think you can't argue that. There was a bit in possession where we're giving sloppy balls away and things like that, but in terms of playing for the badge and not letting the fans down, I felt like we did that. We just, our quality at times, especially in the final third, let us down a bit today.
And you've mentioned how good our support has been throughout this whole season, but once again today the fans turning up in the numbers.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good atmosphere around the place. Felt like a proper game. They always come in good numbers, and it's times like that where maybe we would have liked it to be that they were, we were attacking that end a little bit more, and we were giving them a little bit more, but we needed them to get us through down the other end, I think, today, especially that last sort of 10-15 minutes, and it makes a huge difference. I think the boys really felt it even in the warm-up, just being close to the fans. There was a great energy over there in that corner, so it goes a long way. And who knows, we possibly don't come away with a point without those guys today and the support that they gave us. So it's really valuable, and we'll obviously need as many as we can for Taunton next week, because we've got, I think, 9 games left, and they are all cliche, but they are all massive games. And I think, you know, we've got a point today that might become a good point if we go and beat Taunton next week. And I think that's the way that we've got to look at it.
Cheers,
Cheers, mate.